Perfect, perfect. So let's let's do start without any delay, guys. So these webinar is completely designed for you to walk through about how we can get start a career in cybersecurity, especially if we targeting as in SOC analyst or cloud security job opportunity. So these webinar are going to give you the complete roadmap, like from beginning to the advanced level. What are the areas are there? What type of experience we require? What are the tools are required if you're going to start? What are the correct process of approaching for an interview schedules? How your resumes look like, you get a complete detail about these webinars. So these webinars, which is not just designed to go through with just the slide or something just over theoretical discussion, but also I'm going to walk you through towards the tools what we're going to use and how these tools look like and how we can detect threats, how the vulnerabilities are there. So we're going to discuss in deep dive of this. And I don't require any prerequisites here. Like you need to be have a technical knowledge to get understand these, or you should already have some security background. Just keep it tight and be relaxed and enjoy the screen. I request you to please keep it focused on the screen. And also, I want you to make it rule that, it's better if you can use headphones or if you can be there at the isolated place. It will be good discussions will can have it on. All right. So at the end, I'm gonna give you the permission to have it mute unmute your calls as well. So we can have one-to-one doubts or we can have any interactions if you want. If you have to clear some doubts, we can go ahead. So once again, I'll welcome everybody for this webinar. Let's see that how this can help us to start a career in cybersecurity as a getting into the high paying job roles as a SOC analyst or the cloud security, how we can get targeted on this. So before I go ahead for this, I would like to tell you that who we are, from where we are. As you know, like we are from TechGeek, as in registered in 2010, and we have been doing services since 2010 into the different domain. And since 2013, we are there into the security domain. Okay. So we are passionate about the cybersecurity services as well as training. So it's not just we there focus on the services, but also we have different solutions where the people can meet the requirement which is needed for to get started career or get and achieve a different job roles in the cybersecurity, as well as we there into taking care of the different services into the auditing, that can be of vulnerability management, SOC environment, like how we can onboard it, managing the different MSSP services. So we've been there into the 16 different countries. We have the people have been getting connected us to take with the services and get it into the training part. Located in two locations, one in Australia, other in Hyderabad. So Hyderabad, we have one branch near uh, like you know Malakpet metro station. This is the address where you can see that. This is out our company, and you can go ahead and log in about the techgeeks.co.in. So you're gonna get the complete detail about what is the services, what type of clients we are dealing with it, how it works on. Now, if I talk about the person who's talking behind the screen, who's this? So my name is Sheikh Iftikhar. So I'm a cybersecurity expert with over 12 years of experience. More than that, I believe 12 years plus experience I have in the domain where I'm into the designing and managing the different security solutions that lead to be at onboarded the any SOC environment or be there into taking care of the different endpoint securities, network security, be there into taking care of the compliance requirement to get meet with the particular standards, what does they require. So I've been lead to the technical projects for the government, bank, healthcare, even into the different private sectors. So my work focus on both ways, like on the cybersecurity solutions as well as the training. So I've trained over 10,000 professionals globally, and I'm passionate about empowering the people through the comprehensive cybersecurity educations, like how they can get the benefit with this, how they can start the job, what are the obstacles they have it, like when they've been going it, what are the gap they have it, how we can fill that. So this is how about my professional profile, a very small, a very short, introduction. And if I talk about my personal profile, I'm a husband, father, hacker, gamer, sports fan, as well as the animal lover. If I want to reach us, my LinkedIn profile is there. You can go to the LinkedIn profile and can find me there with the Sheikh Ifri. And this is our website, techgeeks.co.in, where you can get the company. I have done a lot of certifications. I have, CS, Security Plus. I have done CISA, CISSP. So I'm an authorized trainer, where I've been giving training into the global projects and different requirements to meet the standards, to meet, what are the the major skill set is required towards the different, approaches when the organizations have been deploying the security solution. So straight away, I would like to take you to the cybersecurity process where you're gonna see the complete details. How does it work and what is going to be on. So before I get start this, I want everybody to put in the chat. Let's start. Just put let's start. Or see like how many are the active listeners are there. Amazing people are there giving me a reply. So I want everyone to just put let's start. Let's see like how many people are the active. Great. Great, Prakash. Great. Great. This is this make me more motivated. Yeah. Perfect. All right. So great, 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 great. So guys, let's understand with a very simple discussion. How is cybersecurity? What is cybersecurity? How does it work? Why it's so important? Why is getting trained now in top MNCs have been getting hired, the huge people for the cybersecurity specialists. What is the reason behind that? Like how it works? As we can see that the internet is growing rapidly. Everywhere we see that. But there are the different services on the internet. Now we do the banking through the internet, we do the shopping through the internet, we book an cab within applications. We have a lot of services we use through the application. We have lot of information, like critical data. Your information is there on the internet. As we can see that the services are getting rises and it is giving a good opportunity for the business side. Beyond that, we have the IoT things. We have different type of cloud platforms. As we can see, the cloud computing is becoming a more important for the businesses. There are the several businesses are getting migrate from on-premises to the cloud services. So we can see that the cloud has given a huge opportunities towards the businesses. So this is all has happens because of the internet. So it's given a wider opportunities for the people. It's for the business, sports, education, entertainment, and so on, as we can see. So this is an advantage. But also, as we can see that when we are getting the more services, we are getting like more process. There are the two sides to a coin. As we can see that one side we are getting a huge services, but the other side we can see that the services are been getting attacked. The internet has not when I talk about it's not safe. They have the different type of breaches, they have the different type of vulnerabilities. As we can see that the internet has their own disadvantage where the cyber criminals or the illegal activities which is are committing on the internet are getting increased every day. There is a huge attacks happening. There are the several type of attacks takes place whenever the services is added. Those need to be get secure. That need to be have a proper like you know protection. They should have the proper vulnerability management systems. They have the proper security monitoring system. For that, where the cybersecurity. So let's understand what is cybersecurity. So cybersecurity or the information security are the technology of protecting the data. It can be an any IT asset. These assets can be considered as computers, networks, servers, programs, applications, database, and so on. These are need to be get protect from unauthorized access or attack that aim for the exploitation. There are the different type of attacks happens as in cybersecurity specialists. We need to make focus. how we can protect these assets, how we can secure these assets in the organization. So for this, we have the role we call as SOC. SOC analyst is nothing but we call as a security operations center. It's a very booming job areas. Either if you talk about the Middle East market, either you talk about the Asia market, like in we have a lot of opportunities in Infosys, Wipro. If I talk about like Genpact, yeah, if I talk about the Deloitte, you can use the keywords like SOC analyst job, and you can see that you get a plenty of jobs available there. The thing is that you matches with the required skill set for this job to get clear your interview or get hired for this job. You know about what area of skill set they are looking. That's the most important part. So SOC analyst plays a crucial role in maintaining the security of an organization's information systems, like that can be any IT assets, we can see that. So SOC is a centralized unit which is responsible for monitoring, detecting, responding, and mitigating any security incident in the real time. So if any security incident they find out, they are there to mitigate that. So they monitor the security infrastructures. If any incident happens, incidents are nothing but it can be considered as certain type of suspicious activities has happened. So that is need to be get detected and analyzed. There is an incident response. How are we going to respond to those incidents? What are the threat intelligence tools are there? Like how it's going to be used? Let me give you one simple example here. Let's have a look on this. If I'll say that, what exactly the SOC is doing is, as we can see that the SOC monitor for the sign of cyber attacks, such as unusual login, strange pattern in the network activities, or it can be seems to be something which is going out of ordinary, right? So if we spot it, there is something is going on. There is something is a potential threat. We jump into the actions, we investigate, and we stop, the attackers to attack on these assets. So SOC operations works on the live environment. They always have, the process in order to see how these attacks will take place and how we're going to, mitigate. This is how the SOC operations happen. So the SOC team are going to monitor the different assets. So what are those assets are they? So the assets are nothing but where the business runs. If I talk about, if any IT firm, if I talk about, they have 95% of organizations will match with these asset lists. So let me tell you about these asset lists. We have something called as the endpoints. Like what do you mean by the endpoint? Endpoints are nothing but like where we can see that this is as a workstations. It can be considered as desktop, laptop. It can be any other devices like mobile devices. It can be the IoT devices. We just all consider as an endpoints, right? We have the network devices. If I talk about these network devices, it can be like we have a different network architectures. We have a different network topologies. We have like private networks. We have the DMZs and so on. Like how we design those, what are the compliance requirement is there in order to see the network architectures, right? So there are the several network devices we have it that can be routers, switches, it can be the network security devices we call as firewalls. We have the load balancers. So these are the network devices we have. We have the different type of the servers like physical servers, virtual servers, cloud servers, where we can see that we have the different type of applications. Now, applications becomes is the most important part, right? Today's business, if you see that that's running on the application. Asset, if I say that the business asset is an application, how the Amazon makes money, how the Facebook makes money, right? How the Uber makes money, how the Ola makes money, how the Zomato makes money, how the Swiggy makes money. We know very well. They have an application through which they can order the food, they can book the cab, we can do the e-commerce shopping, so on, right? So the applications they have created as a business asset where the business is running. So these application security is very important because the attackers are there. They may attack from different regions with the different intentions that may try to take critical information from that. The attack may happens to do any kind of process. It can be a financial gain. It can be vandalism. They want to get destroy everything. Vandalisms are nothing but they want to delete everything. They want to exploit something in that manner. They're going to lose those organizations. That might be happen. So there are the in-house applications we have, third-party applications we have, web applications we have. So these are the list of assets, database, cloud services. There are the different regularities, compliance will be there. That are very important to see the data protections laws like HIPAA, GDPR. We have like PCI DSS, we call as payment card industry data security standard. So these are relevant to how the data can be get protected. Like, what are the standard frameworks are there. So as a SOC analyst, we need to see that if any violations happens on the regularities, or it can be any assets have been getting attacked, whatever it is. So as these process, we're going to monitor these asset lists. We are going to monitor by using the SIM tool. Now, what do you mean by the SIM? Like how the SIM is will be like? SIM is nothing but we call as a security information event management. The security information event management is the tool like Splunk, IBM QRadar, Rapid7, Logarithms, Azure Sentinels, and so on. That the list of tools are there. While they do the deploy depends upon the requirement where the deployment can be done with the SIM tools. So SIM is the point where the SOC analysts are working. The SOC team will work on the SIM tools in order to see whenever any malicious activities happen, we get an alert. So how this information we get? So whatever the activity we are performing on these devices, they are generating the logs. How these logs will be there? Let me just give you one example here. So there are the several type of logs we have. This log data can be considered as Windows event logs. We have like authentications log, network log. I can show you like there are the access logs, systems logs, applications logs, security logs, email logs. Like there are huge asset lists out there. It depends upon the type of asset list what we are doing it. Like what type of the security solutions we have. Like example, we have the WAF services here. We call it the web applications firewalls. We have EDRs. We call it the endpoint detections and response. We have different type of active directories. We have a different type of database. We have different type of applications. So all these systems are generating the logs, and these logs are sending to the SIM tools here. The SIM is collecting the data here from these assets, and they are going to correlate these information. Correlations. Now, what do you mean by the correlations? See, when we are getting the data to the SIM tool, the SIM need to be have a predefined pattern. The pattern is called as the correlations rules, where the conditions I can say in a very simple way we can say that the conditions. If the conditions matches, the alert should be get generated. Let me give you one example here. Let me take you to the one of the tool here, the SIM tool, and show you the live example. So this is one of the SIM tools called as an IBM QRadar. Let me just give you some basic idea about this, how does it will be there. Let's have a look on this. So guys, here I'm trying to tell you that how the correlations rules can be there, what type of the rules are there, like how these rules can help us to detect any type of the suspicious activities if this happens. So I'm going to click on the offenses. Over the offenses, I have the rules here. So these rules have been grouped in a different form because it's going to give us the conditions. It's going to give us an alert, like whenever the alert happens, we're going to get this alert. So these are the groups, if we can see that. So every SIM tools need to be get defined these rules, which is very important. So these rules are going to give us the information if anything goes wrong. It can be authentications related. It can be the DDoS attacks. It can be considered like if anything happens to the intrusion detection. It can be any suspicious activities that happens. Any threat if we have it. Like there are predefined patterns are there. So let me give you one example here. Let me just select one of the rules considered as an authentication here. So if we are selecting these authentications, so how those rules can be applied here. Okay. So let me just take one example here that is multiple login failure from the single user. So if I click on this, here I'm going to get this rules conditions here. This conditions rule says that when multiple login failure for a single username on these events which are detected by the local machine, means it is happening within the machine. So it's a local machine. It can be a global machine as well, right? So when an event matches with the following category, so this is here the category we call as an authentication failure. So when we have received at least 10 events, if you can see that here, if we receive the 10 events seen from the same user in just 5 minutes. Now here comes the condition. Condition says that whenever 10 events we have received when from the same user are going to do the login failure, it will be considered as some type of attack. It will be considered as some type of suspicious activity. It can be called as a brute force attack. So there are the different patterns are there where we're going to see that. So thus conditions we call as a correlation rule. The correlation rules are nothing but which are going to give us an idea what type of attack is happening, like how we're going to detect those. And these alerts, when it has come, there's the process called as the investigation. Now, how this investigation is going to be happening. Either it can be a true positive, either it can be a false positive. It all depends, right? There are the different patterns are there where we need to investigate on them. So true positive that the risk is intercepted, where we have to go ahead with the incident response. If the false positive, then it can be a false alarm where we can close that. So this is how the incidents happen. So whenever the incident happens, the incident can be happens from inside or it can be outside. If we can see that every incident have the different type of the severity levels that can be critical, high or medium, or it can be low. It depends upon what damage is happens to the organization's assets. What type of losses are going to be get faced by the organization. So whenever the cyber attack happens, it's all depends about the impact, what impact is going to be happen. So there are majorly it will be measures like it can be a financial loss, it can be a reputation loss, or it can be considered as sometimes we get as an operation loss, or it can be impact to the regularities as well. So based on that, the priorities has been defined. So they have the asset list. So they have to do the categorization that is called as the criticality level. Based on the criticality level, what are the assets at the high value? And based on that, these alerts will be generated. So whenever the incident happens, either it can be the internal threat or either it can be an external threat. So let me just give you an example. If I talk about this is our asset, it can be anything like database, applications, or inside the network, whatever we can consider. So internal threat means there is something happens with our team. That can be a sales team, that can be a marketing team, that can be a finance team, that can be IT team, and so on. So this team has done certain activity that is going to impact on the asset. This type of attack we call as an internal threat. It can happen accidentally or it can happen intentionally. That need to be get focused on. External threat are outsiders. That's most of the attackers, hackers. It can be the black hat hackers or it can be the gray hat hackers. It all depends, right? How these attacks go. This is how it's going on, right? Okay. So I just want to see everybody. Is that fine till here? My speed or anything if you have doubts or something like that. If it's all good, just put in the chat. Yes, it's good. I request everybody to put in the chat, yes, if it is all fine till here. Great. Great. Amazing people. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. All right. So as we can see that this is what where I want you to explain you about the asset type is this is how the threat operations can be done. So we can see that whenever we design the security system for any organizations, the asset list is very important. It's very simple. I want to make it's very easy for you to understand. See how we understand the concept, how easy the concept is you understand, the easy you get an opportunity to get start your career or to get into the industry. So it's very simple. We have the list of assets. Over this asset, there is a risk management process we done. We call us vulnerability management. They find out what type of threats will be there, like how those threats can get impact, what would be the losses can be happen. So based on they do the categorization here. We call it the criticality level, where they have high value asset, low value asset. Based on that, they will be decide what would be the impact it can be happens. And based on these impact, we get an alert. It can be the critical, it can be the high, it can be the medium, and it can be the low. Based on that, where the team need to be get involved in order to handle these situations. Okay. So let's go ahead and see some more detail about this. as I said you that, right? Whenever the correlations rules are there, there are the certain conditions we need to be having. So these correlations rules are nothing but the set of conditions that indicate there is a suspicious activities is happening. So when we see that at least 10 events as a login failure, so that is within just 5 minutes with a different username. It is also being considered as a correlation tool. So it depends upon the different rules. You'll be sitting with the client, getting understand the requirement. We're going to write on the white paper, what we need to detect, what is the more critical information, what are the past attacks are there, how we can detect those attacks. So it all depends upon our expertise, which you get understand about the detecting methods, especially we work as a SOC analyst. So what happens here? Let's have a look on this. As a security analyst, if we have been working, we are working on the SIM tools, right? So what does the SIM tool will do it? So we monitor for the alert coming on the SIM tools, right? There are the different asset lists we have it through which we are getting an alert. So these alerts we're going to analyze first. We'll see that what is this alert is about it. Then we're going to decide if it is a legitimate or the bad. If it's a legitimate, then we're going to ignore that. But if it is anything going bad, then we have to take an action. If it is a bad, report the team that there is a corrective action that might be an internal threat, so we can stop the team doing the bad activities. This is how it happens. So when I say that, how this works, what are the things are there? This happens on the stock, as in SIM environment. If you can see that this is the dashboard. Okay. So there are the several type of dashboard that can be related to. I can show you like applications overviews. We have the compliance overview. We can see the network overview, risk monitor, system monitors, threat and security monitors. We can see that the different type of offenses happen. So what are the list of offenses where we are going to see them? So all the offenses list we can see that. We can see that the different type of activities that happens on our assets. So we're going to collect the data from multiple assets here. So this is the logs which are receiving. And these logs are going to give us the complete detail about what activities is happening, how these logs are there, what type of information we are getting it. So we can see the event name, we can see the log sources, we can see what are the event counts we have it. We can see the time, we can see the categories. We have a different type of the source IP, source port. We can see the destination IP. We can see the destination port. So what type of traffic is coming, what type of activities is happening. So we have a different type of filters here. If I want to analyze these data, we can have the filters about last 5 minutes activities for the complete asset list. We can see 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and so on. So there are the different type of filters, advanced filters also we have it, where we can detect the different type of activities if it is takes place here. We have the different type of the network activities. So over the network activities, we can see that what type of traffic is getting processed here. So here you can see that what is the date, what is the source IP, what is the source port, what are the destination IP, what are the destination port are there, what are the protocols are there, what type of information we are getting it. If I want to filter last 30 minutes logs, I can do filters with different type of information, and these data are going to give me the detail about it, what activities is happening. So we have the different type of asset list here. So if I click on the asset list, I can be able to see the several assets here. We have the different type of the reports which we're going to create it. So these reports are going to give you the complete detail about it. That can be about the weak passwords. It can be scan report. It can be any type of suspicious activities. It can be of compliance requirements. It can be about the weekly firewall reports. We can see the complete understand about what is the asset and how it's working. So we have advanced dashboards as well, which are going to give us the complete detail about it, how those attacks are taking place, what are the lists we are monitoring, what are the offenses happen. So it's going to give me the complete details about the list of offenses, what is the current offenses we have it, what are the number of offenses has taken place here, what are the critical offenses we have it, what are the high offenses we have it. So it's all are going to give us the complete detail about the activities which is happens on these assets here. So we can see that the malware threats, or it can be any type of attack if it has taken place. It can be about what are the sources, what are the log sources where we are getting the data, what are the EPS systems are there, event per second, how many events we are getting it, what are the flow we are getting it, So this is all the information which we are going to gather. We're going to analyze about offenses. So what are the offenses are there? What are the summaries are there about these items, right? We can see about any type of activities that is going to be get exploited. So we have these type of dashboards working on the same tools are going to give you the complete detail about what type of logs, what type of events we are collecting, what are the different geographical locations are there. If any threat happens, how are we going to take an action? So there are the multiple SIM tools are there. This is one of the SIM tools where we can see that. Even if I can go to the here at the admin panel, we have a different settings we can add the different type of log sources. So if you can see here, we have the different type of log sources we can add it. We can have log sources, intention extensions we can add it. We have different security policies we can create it. We have the network hierarchy. So it depends what type of the topologies we use, what are the assets we get it. So SIM tools have a different requirement. If I'll take you to one of the other SIM tools, uh, I think this one, this is a Splunk. So Splunk is one of the tool again. It's been considered as a SIM tool. So it's also going to give us the complete details. This is a very simple interface and widely used solutions in the industry. If you can see that, mostly of it, uh, we have Deloitte, we have HSDB, we have bank securities, which is mostly taken with the Splunk enterprise as well, right? Where you can get the complete details. So this is how it look like. So we have like bookmarks, we have the dashboard, we have the search history, we have a recent views. If I can take you to the Splunk enterprise, how it will work. So this is the Splunk enterprise where I'm going inside to this. So this is the search and report data here, where I can be able to see the different type of the searches. I can do the analytics. I can see the database. I can see the reports. I can see alert. I can see the dashboard. Let's take an example. Now here, I have my system here. So what does my system name here? Let's understand first. So if you can see that here, sorry. So here we can see that our system name is desktop S99NI17. This is the desktop, right? I want to see the data of this, what is happening in my system here. So I can just type index equal to main, where I want to see what type of activities is happening. I want to see that related to the security. Let's say that. So I'm going to take that the source type as in security here. So the source type as an event security, and I want to see this data for the last 5 minutes. Let's take it as a window as a 5 minutes. If I'll search it, so it's going to give me the complete detail about the last 5 minutes, what activities is happening. Here you can see that it's all related to the security with an event code, which I'm going to see this information. And this is my computer name as I just show you as an host name, right? So if any login failure happens, so any sort of activities this happens related to these events, if I can click on this, I can see the complete detail about this. If I want to analyze the different logs from different assets, that can be the different times, like I have the different type of interval time. I can see like 30 minutes time, 5 minutes, I can see 1 hour windows. Even I have an option set with the ranges. I can do the range between the date here. What are the date I need the data here? From which date to which date I want to analyze it. I can have those type of searches. We have the advanced searches here, where I can use a different type of advanced command here in order to search those data here. So there are the several informations we have. We have the different type of dashboards. So these dashboards also going to give us the complete detail about the activities which is happens on these assets here. Example, if I show you one of the dashboard as a firewall dashboard, let's see that. Here we go and see how these dashboards look like. What information is going to give you. So over these dashboards, we can see that what are the block connections are there, what are the allow connections are there, what are the tear down connections can be there, what are the external source IPs are there, external destination IPs, where we can see the block country by the destination port. So there are several informations where we can be able to see with the same tools very easily, and we can understand about the process. We can see what type of data is going on, what type of IP addresses are getting in. So information related to the database, information related to the security, we can be able to see in detail about it. What are the region? from where these attacks are taking place, what are the different countries has then blocked the connections here. We can investigate on the each of these parameters. We can create, in fact, there are different type of dashboards in order to analyze, in order to see the activities which is happening on. I believe you're getting an idea about it, how the SOC environment will be there. So whenever any threat happens, there is a security analyst are there, which are going to take an action here. So we have a different type of the tools. Let me just give you one example here. One of the tool example, let's say that I have sandbox, right? So there are the several type of the sandbox we have it. It all depends upon the organization. Here, if I'm doing the threat monitoring, if I want to see how those threats are there, from where this threat is happened, what are the submissions are there. So here, if I'm going to tell you that there is one vulnerabilities happens, there is an attack happens. So there are the different type of the sample attacks. There is a malicious activities happen. It can be a phishing attack if you can see that. Now, if I click on these, what happens is what type of activities is taken place here. So we can use these type of sandbox in order to analyze what type of threat and how this threat is performing. So if you can see that when they click on these, if they verify these systems and what type of activities is happening over there. So this is all are the detailed information where I can be able to see how these phishing attacks can be done. What is the different connections are establishing, what are the different clients are getting connected. There's a lot of information where we can be able to see over these these processes. So this is a very important concept, whenever the threat is happens, how we going to detect those threats, how we can understand about this threat activities here. So let me just give you example. If I'll take you to the malicious activities here and how these details come. Okay, this is another threat system here where you can see. So security analysts will do these type of operations. They get understand everything, what is happening, from where it is taken place, what type of the request they have received, what type of act. This is the safe environment where we're going to test the malware. We're going to see all these activities in detail about it, what is the ranking store, what type of information we are getting with this malicious code, right? What is the score about this, what information they are doing it, what is the level of these attacks, so from where they have initiated, what is the reason of these phishing detected here. So what type of phishing is there? We can see the SHA files and we can have the the complete detail about these systems here with the MITRE attack framework, how it look like, what type of the threat systems are there, what is these malicious activities is taking place. So this is how the security analyst will work. So we need to understand the system, how the SOC analyst will work. We use the same tools. We'll use the different type of the security modules. We can see the different type threat intelligence tools. We have a different type of the ticketing tools. Example, let me take you example. This is in one of the ticketing tool called as a Jira. A Jira is a ticketing tool if you have been using, or it can be anything, right? So how it's going to give us the information about it. So here we can see that what are the threats, how those threats come, what type of the activities about these threats, which is working, what is resolved, what are the priorities of these threats. So malware infections has happened. So we're going to discuss that in detail, how those ticketing systems will work, what type of threats we can detect it with these tools. So this is all about the the tool sites where we work as a security expert. So we need to know about this. These are the tools. They are the different type of attacks happens. All right. Now, if I'll say you the attack type, let me tell you one example. Let's have a look and idea about it. How the live attacks happen. How many of you want to see the live attack? Just put in the chat. I want to see. Just put in the chat. I want to see. Arun says, okay. Everyone, I want to see how many of you want to see that live attack. Okay. So let's understand this. How these attackers will attack. The attackers will attack on a different systems like social engineering method, phishing attacks, there are the different type of attack method will be there. So just give me a moment. Let me give you one example here. Okay, let's understand this. Let me close this console first. Okay, I'm gonna do one thing. Okay, so let me run one tool first. Give me a moment. I'm opening one tool for you guys. Okay, all right. Okay, now here, let's get open. Let's go to. Uh, Let me go to the one of one of the examples. I'm going to Royal Enfield. One of the application is Royal Enfield. Let's say that. Now, guys, here we see that there is one application here, right? There's one application which I'm going to see this here. Now, what I'm going to do it, I'm going to create one sign up here, just to get understand. I'm going to show you like how the secure OTP bypass it happens. Let's understand this attack here. So I'm going to create an account. Okay. So let's see that. Now here I'm going to put some user credentials as in test. Okay. So let me take these as shape. So I'm taking my name. This is as my account, something like this. Okay. Give me the email, something which I'm putting. Now here guys, I'm just taking the random details here. I'm creating some random password. Let's say that this is my password. Okay. Now, here I want to put the mobile number. Okay. Now, this time, the mobile number I'm going to put the correct because it's on these mobile numbers, we're going to receive OTP. All right. So, is there anybody want to give your number that you can receive the OTP? Arun, I'm going to answer you all the questions. Do not worry. At the end, I'm going to answer you all the questions about it. Let's focus on the screen first and see that. Is there anyone want to put your number in the chat so you can receive an OTP? Can put no worries. You will get just an OTP. Okay. No worries. Let me put this. Okay. Let me put one random number here. Uh, okay. Let me put one number here. Let's see that. No, I'm not owner. I'll just accept this. I'll create an account. So let's have a look on these guys here. User is already exist. Okay. Let's see that. Okay. Let me change this number. Let's see this. Okay. This is putting random number. I don't know what is this number, even though I can see that. All right. So here we can see that we have put one number and the OTP went to that number. Okay. Now here we need to verify these OTP. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inject all these stations here. Let's understand. Here we have the main step which we are going to do it. Now let me just turn on this proxy. Maybe it works. Let's see that. Okay. Right. Let's see. Now I'm just putting random OTP. I think it's connecting. Okay. Give me a minute. Okay. Here we go ahead. Okay. So now anybody can just give me any OTP. Is that just I want you to suggest any OTP. Can put in the chat. Whatever the OTP you want, you can put in the chat. I'm going to put the same OTP here. Okay. So Kriti has given me one OTP as a 513341. Let's see that. I'm gonna put the same OTP here. 513341. So this is an OTP which we have inserted, okay, for these requests. Now these requests we're going to capture using the Bub suite, okay. And here is the tool where whatever the request we send is going to come here and going to receive over this, okay. Let me submit this. So when I submit this request, so here we're gonna see that all the activities are going to become at this point here. Over these Bub, we are going to see these activities, okay. So let me just do this maximize. Okay. So here we can see that all the intrusion requests, whatever it is coming, that will be coming over the system. So now I'll click on the forward. So here we see that the request we are sending to the particular application is a Royal Enfield. So it's a google.com, right? That's not our application as of now. So this is just to get you understand over the system, how these attacks take place. So whatever the request is getting passes, that is from here. Okay, right. So we have set up all things and the request came here. And here you can see that what username we have put it and what is the OTP here. OTP is 51344 here, if you can see that here. This is an OTP which we are going to send it here. So over these OTP, whatever the informations which are sending it, I want these intruders. So to intercept on this, I want the response for this request. So click on this. Here comes, here is given the request that is not valid. So I'm going to make these changes. 404, I'm going to make these changes to the 200. And here is saying that please enter valid OTP. So I'm going to make these changes again back. So I'm going to say that here, verified OTP. Okay. Now here is the success is false. I'm going to make this as a true here. So simple. Some of the system here, which I'm going to give you like how these patterns happen. And now I'm going to forward this request. Still, okay. So yeah, this vulnerability has been done here. It was in vulnerability. So this is a system where I want you to understand you that. So whenever we do these login systems, whenever we are doing the system, how these attacks happen, this is a pattern. So vulnerabilities was there, but as if now this vulnerability has been done as a patches. So it depends. It depends how the vulnerabilities are there. Vulnerability finding it's not in small areas. We have to be the patience. We need to understand how those vulnerabilities are there. So example, these attempt we have done on a particular application as a live application. So these applications, if been executed, the logs are generating those SIEM tools, and we're going to detect those logs and going to investigate, how those attack patterns is taking place here. So here, this is how the SOC team will work. The SOC team have to monitor all the assets that's related to the HR, sales, accounting, construction, where we can see that the teams are like developers, front end, full stack engineers, test engineers. We have the people who are from skill set from the Python, Java, .NET. So this is all are the internal team as we know that. We have like IT infrastructure team, like system team, network team, database team. We have IT security teams like IM team, endpoint security team, vulnerability assessment team, network security team, where we can see that we have the SOC team, which is the backbone for the entire security system. The SOC analyst will keep monitor everything. If any suspicious happening, immediately they're going to check what type of activities happen. So SOC team will focus all the activities which is happens on these systems here. Let me give you a very simple example. I want to relate this with a civil engineer. Okay. Now, if I ask you about what exactly the civil engineer will do, we know very well about this, right? The civil engineer is there into the constructions, like he's do the constructions, it's make things villas, homes, buildings, roads. It depends. So civil engineer there into the constructions, it's going to construct different type of building, houses, different type of villas, malls, and so on. But while constructing these infrastructures, they know that they need to be involved with different teams like architect team, masons, like tile workers. They need to interact with the plumbers. They need to interact with electricians. They need to interact with the painters. So these are very mandatory teams where the civil engineer need to have a proper communications with them. If anything going wrong, this person need to be guided. Hey, stop doing this. You're not doing the right way. If the civil engineer have no guidance towards this, his expertise is not coming here, the constructions will not happen according to the plan. The similar way, if I take you to the cyber security related team, we have a cyber security expert team, as in SOC analyst team, just like a cyber security team. So they keep an eye on every activity which is happens on it. Either it can be a HR team, what type of activities they are doing it. It can be related to the marketing team. It can be related to the network teams, right? So how those team have been working, what type of activities they are doing it. So they can be related to the finance team. So as a security analyst, we keep eye on all these activities, what is happening on. So the SOC team, which is monitor all the activities whatever takes place on the system. So we monitor, we detect, we investigate, and we respond to the cyber threat if it is happening. So, what type of threat is there? Like, how are we going to take an action? What type of activities we need to perform? That's the most important part here. The SOC analyst, which is keep eye on all the activities. They monitor the multiple SIM tools. They monitor the different type of activities. They if they receive and ticket, they receive as an alert. They're going to resolve this alert. They do the different incident response plan. So the SOC analysts, which are going to monitor the different type of the cyber attacks, that can be a phishing attack, that can be a man in the middle attack, it can be the DDoS attack, it can be SQL injections, it can be the ransomware attack, it can be zero-day exploitations, it can be the cross-site scripting, it can be the drive-by download, and so on. There's multiple different type of attacks happening, whereas the security analysts need to get monitor those attacks and going to focus how we can mitigate, how we can do the incident response, how we can do the isolations on those machines, how we can perform the eradication process if that attack happens intentionally, accidentally by the internal team. So we'll take an actions depends upon those areas. So it's very important for us to get understand what type of activities is taking place and how it's going to be affect the security for our organization. So not only this, but we know that the attack can be happens like mostly if you've been working as a security analyst, you're going to focus on the malware incident, unauthorized access, phishing attacks, DDoS attacks, insider threats, data breaches, incident response, vulnerability management, IoT securities, web application securities, data exfiltrations, brute force attacks, so security policy violations. This is just a response, right? How are we going to detect these attacks? How are we going to respond? These are the skill set which we require. Now, as we know that cloud has becomes more important here. Everybody is are shifting, migrating the services to the cloud, to implementing the cloud services. How we can work on the cloud solutions? What are the protections of data, applications? How the SaaS services work? Like secure service as a we know the software as a services. We have infrastructure as a services. We ensure all the security team solutions, cloud solutions, how those can be there. So we're going to use the Azure Sentinel here in order to get complete detail how the Microsoft products like 365 or Defender, XDR, what type of XDR integrations can be there, how we can build the firewalls over the cloud. All this will be going to require if you're going to get going to clear your interview or going to start your career into the security. These are the skill sets which is the most important part. As we can see that data security, availabilities, compliance, we have the disaster recovery, business continuity, we have governance, we have IAM, identity access management, what type of permissions like authentications or authorizations, accountability, identifications, and so on. This is a very important concept if we are going to start a career. So here there are some responses IAM related to inquiries, data protections process, configurations management, application securities, cloud infrastructure compromisation systems can be there, security patching can be there, DLP, data loss preventions methods, how we can be there, email securities, XDRs, EDRs, so on. So data security systems comes in a different way. That comes to the authentications, authorizations, encryptions, vulnerabilities, audit and compliance, network securities, terminal securities, emergency response if it is required. If it is any container securities that can be there in the data. So Microsoft services deploy different type of clusters that need to be get understand. What are the design points are there? What are the trusted basis images are there? So how those scanners can be done? How the containers can work, right? Scanners. So we need to scan those scanners as well. So there are the complete scenario based protection system right from disaster recovery, authentications, authorizations, vulnerability management, compliance requirement. If I talk about GDPR, HIPAA, PCI DSS, what are the requirements are going to be get matched. This is a very important concept which we are going to do. Now, this is where I want you to focus it here. I want you to understand. So this is all about the content we have discussed, which we require the skill set. Now, if you want to become a cybersecurity specialist, why should you learn the cybersecurity? I'll tell you in a very simple way. This is the perfect time to safeguard your, the coming future, as you can see that there's a huge job opportunities are there in the global standards, if you can see that. Not only just focus on the India, but if you're targeting for US, UK, Canada, Australia, there are plenty of people out there which have been the part of. So what I want you to understand is that the market in India is also getting huge here. 22.6 billion has been going to be get invest till 2032 here, if you can see that. So the market is getting increased only with the right skill set we need to be getting to. So Indian market, if I talk about, because there is a lot of global projects where they have it, and there's a huge packages as well where we can see. So if you want to start your career as a cybersecurity and get start your beginning journey from India, that will be the better one. And because as we can see that the average cybersecurity salary range is getting between 8 lakhs to 15 lakh per annum. 8 lakh is the minimum package where we can see that. So salary growth is very high. I have plenty of people who have taken the decision and they've been working the top companies here. But the most important thing is that where we have come across with multiple profiles, we know that the top challenges where the people face while if they are going to face an interview, what are the candidates are not going to face an interview, why they get failed. Then the first reason is that lack of preparation. They never understand about what is the job profile is there, what are the requirements are there. So the preparations are very important. They need to understand about what preparations we need to do. The interview anxiety is very important. Again, we need to do the practice here to come out with these anxieties as well. We may be prepared, like when we go for an interview, we won't be able to answer. Once the interview done, you might be know, like, I know this, but I wasn't be able to answer this, right? So there's the confusions comes, we need to have a clear view. The communication issues, again, that's again very important things we have to focus on. And the technical proficiency. These are some of the reasons, right? You know, we have to come out with this reason in order to get started career. This is a very important concept which you have to understand. Now, if I'll say you that there's a misalignment with the job expectations. If you see that the very poor understanding about the job roles, they know they done something in the cybersecurity and they think this is all about it. No, we need to have complete clarity about our requirement skill. What is the required skill for those jobs? What type of questions they're going to ask? How we can do the practical on that? How we can we work on the floor? Everything which are going to give you the complete detail about this, which you're going to get learn how the jobs can be done. So you have to be a battlefield experience if you want to start your career in cybersecurity. If you're looking to make it a long-term career and you're struggling from the past to get switch your career in cybersecurity, this is a solution. If you're not trained with the tools, you're not well battle experienced, nobody gonna leave you on the no one gonna send you to the field. That's very important. If you're going to the field, you should be have the complete experience about how we can be a battlefield experience, how we know that the tools and technology. Like example, as we can see that, how we gonna work on the Splunk, Jira, different type of the threat intelligence tools. What is Linux, Kali Linux? How we going to work on the Wireshark? What are these tools are there? These are the tools which are going to be used, like Azure Sentinel, where we can see that. So these are the list of the tools where you're going to be working on. So we have the complete procedures which are going to take you to that, like the SOC operation procedures that, where all the tools, technologies, we're going to have, hands-on practice on this, like the SOC environment. We'll see inside industry, what type of questions they're going to ask, what type of real-time, job preparations will be there. So all these real problems which is related to the job interview. So we're going to get inside how we can resolve this real problem, how we can be ready for a job interview to land a successful job, as a security analyst. If you can see that there are the different roles are there, like security level 1, like level 2, level 3. So up to the level 3, you can be there with these posts, which we have designed the solution for you to get understand about what type of questions they ask, how those interview patterns will be there. So the pattern is all about the real scenarios. They tell you, okay, explain us how you can identify the potential threat, how you're going to do the threat hunting, what type of false positive, what do you mean by the true positive, how you can minimize those areas here, how we can handle the false positive alert if it has happened. What walk through us to the incident response life cycle. Like, explain me what is the incident detection, containment, and incident response system will work. They're going to ask you, like, perform the root cause analysis. What you're going to do after the incident if it has happened. How you're going to handle the ransomware attack if it has taken place. So this is are the real time questions where these organizations are going to ask. If you've been working as a security specialist, you need to be have some of these areas. I have a lot of people who have done this. Let me just give you their experience. Let me show you their experience, what they said about this training. We have there's a lot of international clients. We have a lot of local clients which are from the same country. We have it from India, and they are past the different interviews, and they are into the good positions now. Let me just give you some idea here. Just share you the sound as well.
Hi, I'm doing the cybersecurity course with Tech Geek, and it's an amazing, very informative, and practical course. I found that not only am I gaining knowledge, but also doing practical steps that would be applicable in the job, and I highly recommend it. The tutors as well as the consultants have been very, very responsive and very accommodating for every life event. So I do recommend that you take this course. Okay.
Hi everyone, good morning. Myself Mukhtar Ali. I just wanted to inform you that this training was worth every single penny, and the trainers were not only knowledgeable but they are passionate about cybersecurity. They made learning very easy, enjoyable, and practical. The team they are providing the services are excellent. So I just highly recommend everyone to join this course. Thanks, TechGeek.
Hello everyone, myself Charan and I completed my cybersecurity training at TechGeek, and I just wanted to take a moment to share my transformative journey with TechGeek and how this learning experience has greatly impacted my growth and understanding of the cybersecurity field. I just want to express my heartfelt gratitude to TechGeek for providing me this transformative learning experience. And it has been an incredible journey, and I'm eager to continue growing and contributing to the field of cybersecurity. So I would definitely and highly recommend TechGeek Cybersecurity to anyone who's looking to embark on a similar journey. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Waliu. I'm a former student of the Hello everyone, my name is Waliu. I'm a former student of the Geek Institute in Hyderabad, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, I got to know about the Geek Institute on Facebook. I saw their ads on Facebook, and I picked their phone number and I reached out to one of their coordinators who helped me with registration and making payments. I started in January 2023 and I finished in May 2023. What I can say about Tech Geek is, to me, it's to be honest, it's a very good place for you to learn about cybersecurity, especially for people that are new in the field who is looking to break into cybersecurity. Tech Geek is a place where they will teach you from basic to the advanced. I didn't really know much about cybersecurity when I joined Tech Geek, and I was able to learn from the basic until the advanced level. All the lecturers there and the coordinators they're always ready to help. They always listen to their students in terms of questions and concerns. If you have any questions and concerns, once you reach out to any of the lecturers, they are always willing to help on time. And I would highly recommend TechGeek to anyone who is looking to break into the field, because after the whole program, they also help with resume preparation, and they also connect with employer. And so if you're looking to break into the field, it's a place where I would highly recommend. As a matter of fact, after my own program, I also recommended a friend who is currently doing a program with them now. And I also have a lot of people who were asking me about how their program is, and they are also willing to try the school. So for me, yeah, like I said earlier, it's a very great place for you to learn about cybersecurity if you want to learn from basic to advanced, and possibility of getting a job after the course. Yeah. And they also help with interview preparation. Yeah. So I would recommend to anybody who wants to learn about cybersecurity. Thank you.
All right. So this is all. Thank you everyone for giving your feedback. So this is what, my existing there's thousands of lists out there actually, those who have done this course and taken advantage, to be a part of this journey. Okay. So if you ask me, how it's going to be happens, is there any requirement you need to be having? No. I'll tell you that there's no required of any programming language, especially when we talk about the SOC role. There's not required any type of the technical education's background when we talk about that. That's again very important when we can see that. And all the companies want to secure the data, as we can see that. So it's a global job market. You know very well, if you're smart enough, you have done the research, if you know about the market, you will understand about the security market is very big. It's all depends upon your skill set, which area, which point you're going for, and get understand. So I've given you the complete roadmap where we're going to discuss all things from scratch. We're going to discuss right from the networking concept. We're going to understand about ethical hacking systems, web pen testing, SOC analyst, cloud security. So these are the course like ethical hacking, web pen testing. It's all the video based course, right? Apart from these, where we are going to have the live sessions along with the interview preparation. So SOC analyst, cloud security, and the interview preparation, which we're going to do it very informatic way, where you can take understand about the process, how does it work. So this is where we are going to do it. If I list out the tools for the the course during what we are going to cover, we're going to do the Splunk, IBM QRadar, Wireshark, Microsoft Azure Sentinel, Nessus, and Threat Intelligence. These are the list of the tools which is obviously required in the market if you're going ahead and starting your career. So these are the list of the tools which we are going to focus, as well as these tools is not just as we are doing as practical on my screen, but we're going to set up this lab and going to give you a task and assignments in the project where you can understand what level of skill set you needed and how you're going to do the practical on this. So this is a very minimum seats which we are having. So we have the complete proven system. We're going to share you the different interview, if you're going for the interviews, how that will be there. So we're going to crack and give you the complete detail about how these interview systems will work, what type of interview questions they're going to ask. I'm going to guide everything over these areas here. Okay. So let me just give you one of the example here, how those interview calls will be there. Let me just see that. Okay. Let me play for you this. See, this is the format, where I'll just make it the quick example here to get you understand. This is one of my students.
Those 12 guys are
I believe you can able to hear this recording, right? Just type in the
site
chat
support
yes if you
engineers.
can.
Okay.
Okay. So like you can consider them as local IT support, for example. Okay.
Okay.
So
Are you
SAC,
able
now
to listen
coming
to this
back to the
recording,
main
right?
topic, SAC obviously is one of the very
Okay, yes.
critical
Perfect.
towers for me when it comes to this project.
So I'll make it a little bit faster to
I
get you
have
understand how this
I have
recording will
two
be.
very important clients that I interact with them day in day out for operations and delivery. One guy sits and operates out of India, Mumbai. since January, the existing Microsoft Enterprise stack, which is Microsoft Sentinel, right? So
Okay.
we moved everything to Microsoft Sentinel. That as a result of business decision and client, and that project was driven by us only very successfully.
Okay.
So by end of July, we completed that project, starting from January, out of Jensen because of his own reasons. Now, obviously, that called for a need of backfilling, not exactly his role, but one immediate backfill in the SOC area, right?
Okay.
And because I have to back up my team with some additional helping hands, right?
Yeah.
So that's how the requirement came, right?
Okay.
So your earlier round one was taken by somebody, Aditya and Sumit, if I may not wrong, right? Yeah, they're very good senior guys in my team. They reporting to me, and I think one good thing is they have given good feedback about you, right?
Thank you.
So yeah. That being said, now that's the quickly brief story. Of course, I took 10 minutes. Sorry for that. But now,
no problem.
you quickly explain me about your profile. How many companies you worked with so far? How many years of experience? What were you doing? Some of the latest technologies and security you might have already explored or exploring your journey.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, it was pleasure to know about the journey and about the role and responsibility. And when it comes to my introduction, like for my experience, like I worked for almost 6 years, and I'm currently working for Capfox Technologies, and earlier I worked for Wipro. And when it comes to tools and or technology which I majorly worked on, I majorly worked on SIM tools. Like I worked on multiple SIM tools, Splunk, Rapid7 and QRadar. And when it comes to firewalls, like I also have experience working monitoring, like on day-to-day activities, like on regular basis we will be monitoring our logs which are related to operating system related logs, active directory related logs, application related logs, etc. And also to monitor our dashboards to understand if there are any abnormal logs which are being reported. If there are any abnormal logs reported, like we will be analyzing those logs, understanding the capability of those logs, as in like whether if it is a true positive or a false positive, and taking mitigationary.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. And taking mitigationary actions also involves in my responsibilities. And I'm also responsible for monitoring our software,
But
on or how many users will be reporting a particular phishing email, or
SOC analyst really understand the client. Some to be very honest, we don't expect to have round the clock. Even if you are covering a night shift, let us say you log in around 8 o'clock, you can be there maximum 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Then that's fine as long as no issues. Other team
private limited.
Aprox. Okay. So what is your notice period?
I got relieved already. Actually, it was on.
What was your last drawing salary with the previous company?
So it was 9 lakhs per annum.
Okay, and if I say, for example, let me check, some small trick game I play with you. So if I offer the same, will you be joining or you expect more?
I'm saying like 9 lakhs is expected. Like, haven't you asked about the expected CTC?
Yeah, I mean, okay, you tell me. Okay, you converted my question. Okay, what is your expected CTC?
Expected is 9, and like my last one salary is like 6 lakhs per annum, and 1 lakh is variable pay.
Okay, so you're expecting 9.
Yeah.
Okay, but let us say if I offer you somewhere around 7.5 or 8, is that sounding good?
No, it is not. So basically, you have already like offered me 9 earlier, like when you asked me whether if I'm okay with 9 lakhs, the same 9 lakhs package. So I'll be good with
No,
9.
but I thought actually your current CTC was that much, right? But you said actually 6.5 plus 1, right?
Yeah, 6 plus 1.
Okay, no worries. Okay, that we will take care. Don't worry. Yeah. So again,
Okay, thank you very much. This is just a sample for you to get you understand, right? How the interview pattern is there, like, what type of interview questions they ask you. So it's all about how you want to start your career. So this is what where we are doing it, and straight away you're going to learn everything about this. If I'll talk about this course, how it is like the SOC Analyst course, which is cost you 25,000, which most of the people take with this. Like we have the cloud security, which is 22,000, and if I'll see that the complete course package, which is almost this value is about like including web pen testing, professional CV preparation, interview materials that will lead you to get a job which is cost you 88,000. But as you know, like we are not going to charge you this 88,000. This is a limited offer which is going to give you just with 30,000. But still, we have one good offer, like which is decided and try to deliver you for coming these batch. So for these batch, the complete process only for these batch is going to get you just in 25,000. This is the package where you're going to get CV preparations, interview preparations, your LinkedIn profile optimizations with all the complete practical training with the tool, with the expertise, and you get a lifetime recording access. Ethical hacking and weapon testing is the red team part where you're going to get the complete access to those, like, video access as well. So this is what where we are going to do it, right? During like our course. And if you have any doubts, if you feel like you need to clear before you go on board, like please feel free to ask me. You can unmute your call or you can put in the chat and can ask me the question. So I'm live for next sometime, like next 5-10 minutes. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. You can unmute your call and you can ask me the question.
Yeah, hi. This is Arun.
Yes, sir. Hi.
Yeah, actually, post on that command. In a project or in an organization, like there
Mm-hmm.
was some different same tools like Splunk, QRadar, and
Mm-hmm.
many tools are there, right? In a project, one month and only one tool will be used, or multiple tool will be used at certain time.
See, when it
Simple.
is comes on the project, it all depends upon the type of project what we are dealing with. Okay, it can
Okay.
be one
Okay.
or it can be sometimes it might be a multiple. There's no choice, or it can be any simple they are using. So it depends upon the asset list, like what are the asset lists are there, what we are monitoring, what are the requirements are there. So those are
Okay.
the some of the areas, Arun. It depends, like on project. It might use the two tools, or sometimes it might may use with the single tool, like which they got license. So based on that, they will be used. Again, it depends upon the budget as well. Like when we onboarded the security systems, right? It will be deal with the single SIM tool. What is their budget? What tool can suit? What are like the asset capabilities are there? So it is all depends upon what asset can be get onboarded and like what type of data we collect from those assets. So based on that, the SIM tools can be used. And I'm going to give you the complete detail about that as well. Like how these tools use if they've been onboarding, like SIM deployment, we can say that how the SIM deployment can be done. So you'll understand very clearly about that in coming soon.
Okay. And another one main doubt. Now I'm in BPO project.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working for BPO. I'm decided to switch the career into SOC analyst.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my current city is 3.8 to 4 around. How
Mm-hmm.
much can I expect while entering to that
See,
SOC analyst?
this is what I want you to understand you that while you have been going as a security analyst, right? The SOC analyst. See, job, like, first there are two things. People will do the courses, they try to get migrate job, but unfortunately, they will not get an like solutions for that. They stop hunting the job. This is the first part because the course which we are doing it. What is the reason? Is the reason is that to do the course, or we think like we get a job once we done the course. This is not the correct way to go ahead. We are going to increase the value, our skill set value. Based on that, the job will be there. So my student, 80% of students which got the package above 8 lakhs, they started the career,
Okay.
even they are the 2.5 lakhs package, they shifted to 8 to 9 lakhs per annum. It all depends upon vice versa, like how you are serious about your career and how you want to start it. That's the most important part. That will give you the result. I straight away tell you
Okay.
that I have dealt with 10,000 plus students. I know, there are the huge traffic have a different mindset. It's all about what is your mindset towards the success, what type of decisions you take, that comes on your result. If you think no, it's not possible for me to get this, it's not happened, this is all things same, then you go with the same flow. If you train your brain in that way, yes, I can achieve, I can prove, and the trust if you have on yourself, then it's going to be good. So there is no term like call as a guarantee in the market today. I'll be frank with
Okay.
you guys. I'll tell you in a very straight away. People will give you a job guarantee. That means like they want to just sell their seats. That's it. I'll tell you the straight away. I can give you the guarantee on your skill set, and I'm 100% sure that with this skill set you get the job. These are the possibilities are there, and 80% of people will get a job based on this.
Okay.
Yeah. So package straight away, if I'll say you 8 to 10 lakh package you can accept. This is the current market rate.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Hi, sir. This is Vikash Kumar. Am I audible? Do let me know
Yes,
once.
yes, Vikash, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. How are you doing?
Hi. I'm good. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I come from Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now residing in my hometown,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm having 4 years of experience working as a technical service desk engineer.
Mm-hmm.
And my last organization was PwC. I was a part of a big four organizations, and
Mm-hmm.
in my day-to-day life, I was also dealing with applications, Active Directories, okay, Windows logs, and ticketing tool was ServiceNow
Mm-hmm.
on calls, chat, incident, everything. But I never got a chance to work with any of the project where I need to get alerts and monitor through SIEM tools, and not the same tool, whether it is IBM QRadar or Splunk. Splunk is very famous, I know it. But
Yeah.
the moment when I realized, sir, I want to tell you a story, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then how things are getting changed overnight and things are getting replaced. I think cybersecurity will be the one options in future where at a certain point we can see that the jobs are going away, but cybersecurity job will always increase. So based on my technical knowledge and my expertise, which I have played in my previous companies, okay, 3 companies, I could added everything and then I could understood one more thing, that this is the right path. So I learned things and installed Kali Linux, Wireshark, okay, and packet networking, Windows log, and everything I've learned about it. Okay, sir, incident response. But I'm not satisfied. That's the reason I joined this,
Yes, yes.
a video
Because
call.
it's pleasure to know
Having
about your profile. It's a pleasure to know about your profile, and I understood about this. This is what I want you to understand. Just working on the Kali Linux, doing some basic courses. We understand things. That's fine. But it's all depends, what level of skill set you're going to grab with these courses, right? It's just we are doing this course is just to have it knowledge or the real skill set. That's most important
I
part.
wanted to come into the cybersecurity, so I
Yes, yes.
found SOC is one of the easiest way you can get into.
Easiest, right, right, correct.
Easiest
You are
way.
correct.
But see,
Easiest way.
I had,
Easiest, but
yes, because I had already.
yeah,
Sorry,
let
sir.
me
Yeah, please
complete.
go ahead.
Let me easiest way, but the way we have to start it, right? You need to understand.
Mhm,
Let's see that your organizations have you've been working with the PwC. I have plenty of people
mhm,
started career with the PwC, KPMG, if I talk about Deloitte and so on. But when it is comes to
mhm,
the focus on the security, you
mhm,
need to be having a process of client facing roles. There's a lot
mhm,
of MSSP services are there. Like how you're going to deal with the client, how you're going to understand the requirement, what are the deployment
mhm,
sites are there. So these areas
mhm,
we have experience, right? We understand the concept.
mhm,
It's not about we know how to analyze the malware. It's not about how you can respond to an incident as a brute force attack, how you can analyze the phishing email. It's all about what you know about the data security, what you know about
mhm,
the information security. If somebody is coming with an required solution, how are you going to be interviewed with them? how are you going to have the kickoff meeting with them, to get understand things, what is going on, like how we can set up, what are the mitigation solutions are there, what type of the risk they're going to be faced, what are their budget are there in within their budget, how the security solutions can be get designed. So these all matters, when we are going for the higher package, and if you're going to grab this, which we are going to doing, discussing
Yes,
on
sir.
these decisions,
I'm
I'm sure,
yes.
you can get a 15 to 18 lakh package is like a easy way.
Yeah, because
This is
see,
how
my
it.
last CTC is only 10 lakh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My last CTC was 10 lakh,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought of switching it into a different domain. But later I realized, okay, because one of my elder brother's friend is in threat intelligence. Okay. So he told me, this is the right time. If you're doing nothing, okay, I've already served a notice period, do one thing, do a course for at least a SOC engineering role where you just need to understand how malwares attacks and phishing emails and MITRE attacks, brute force attack, Windows logs and all. So this is all you need to learn about it, and then
Yes,
if you
sir.
understand the life cycle, how exactly you have done it. Because see, I have already worked with the ITIL framework, sir. I know the ticket priorities and everything. Okay, in my previous
Correct.
company also, apart from working with other tools, I was also been a part of a networking team, okay, where I always have to work with the CMD commands and Palo Alto VPN,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
VDI and all that I have already done it, sir. So I know
Mm-hmm.
this part is very easy for me because
Mm.
I was a part of ITIL process.
I
Okay,
understand.
so this is one part of yeah,
How the ITL framework will work. Everything is, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes,
So
yes, yes, yes.
I must say one thing, straight away. If you're really
Hmm,
looking for it to be get change your career into the cyber
hmm,
security, and if you
hmm.
want to, start with the SOC analyst, this will be the, one of the correct decisions of your, the journey. I'm sure about that. And you already skill set, the culture, already you've been there in the corporate. I think it's not a big deal to crack here an interview.
Yes, because as far as the technical knowledge is concerned about my field, okay, because I am expertise on it, okay, I'm expertise on networking field as well, okay, whichever the networking part was assigned to me as an L1 and L2 engineer that I have performed in my previous company, sir, okay. Apart from that, some of the CCNA part I have completed by my
Mm-hmm.
own, but see, lots of free resources available in the YouTube. So I have also done, and there are many more things, but I was not at all satisfied with my, the sources that I was getting knowledge. So I thought of asking somebody to provide me a better
I understood. I
opportunity, okay,
understood.
better
Yeah.
opportunity to learn in process of learning cybersecurity. So I then found uh, tech geek, okay, sir. So this is how I joined the call, and I was pretty impressed the way you explaining everything that what which all is going to be
So,
covered while teaching all these things. So I
pleasure.
know I just need a small push up. Okay, sir, I can do it, sir, because I've already
Sure, sure.
worked with that.
We are happy to learn together. Don't worry. We have the complete solutions, and you're going to be discuss more in detail about this concept, and you'll understand the deep drive process, like how it's worked during the course when we onboard. All right. Yeah.
I'm really happy for you,
Thank you very
sir,
much.
to
Thank you.
get
Thank you.
this much knowledge that you have. Okay, and the kind of delivering the knowledge
Thank you.
regarding
Thank you very much.
cybersecurity.
Pleasure.
Sir, and last but not the least, I want others to speak as well. Okay, so
Yeah.
just want to understand, sir. Within 25,000, you will only cover the cybersecurity means what SOC analyst course or other part will be covered like
Stock
ethical
cloud.
hacking and all.
Yeah. See,
SOC and cloud.
stock and cloud and ethical hacking web pen testing, you'll be getting as in video access.
Okay,
Okay, the complete lab
okay.
setup, everything will be there in that video as well, along with the resources.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So burp suit and everything will be covered, right?
Ah, yes, is there all there into the red team, which is into the
I know,
video
I know,
access.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir. And we are going to learn the blue teaming, defending part.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You well.
Bye,
You
sir.
well. Bye. Yeah. Is there any questions from anybody else? If you have it, please feel free to ask.
Hey, Ifti, Imran here.
Yes, Imran.
Like I'm working into network and security since 8 years. I have worked on firewalls, EDR, that is Sentinel-1, vulnerability assessment college, and DLP like proof point. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, what do you suggest someone, like I'm working as a lead network security engineer, and
Mm-hmm.
my package is pretty good. Okay. Like, it ranges between 15 to 18. Okay. So, like, what exactly you suggest for me to do next? Like, go as a stock analyst, or, like, learn
Mm-hmm.
something like, stock
Hello,
analyst and add
hello.
CISM, and, CISSP.
Mm-hmm.
What do you suggest exactly,
Yeah,
please?
that's a good question. Right, Mr. Imran, like as you know already, you've been working as a lead and you know very well about all the vendors. Like it just comes as if I talk about as you said, like EDR, gateways, DLP technologies, vendors as you said, the ProPoint and Sentinel One. So you know aware about the technologies, you know aware about like the things what we have it as you're working as a senior consultant, but it's all depends upon what your target region is there, like where you want to switch this. If you're going to switch as a security SOC analyst, yes, of course I can suggest you that. But I want you to be not at the level one or level two. You should be there at the manager level, like SOC managers, like how you can write the correlations rules, how the detections method can be there. If you've been like onboarding the project, like how you can interact with the client, how you can handle the different client requirement. If we are doing like 50,000 employees have been working in an organization, and if you're going to be provide the solutions for them, so the security solutions, like how the imaging can be done, what type of imaging can be used, and so on, like those areas which I can suggest. And during this course where we are going to get it from like scratch to advanced, so some of these areas you can also be covered in that.
Yeah, got it. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, Eva. Yeah. Yeah, Rahul, you have any question? Anyone else
Yes, sir.
have any question? Yeah, please.
Sir, I want to know about one thing. Suppose I have patched all the vulnerabilities in my system,
Mm-hmm.
and I have implemented all the security policy, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, i- is it will give 100% guarantee that no one will able to hack it, or still there will be any chances of hacking?
See, that is what where it is comes to the SOC environment, right? It is like all the security solutions we inbuilt it, even though there might be a chances like the threat or vulnerabilities can be get fine. There will be hundred of breaches are there. If you say like Google is safe, no. There might be hundred of breaches can be there. Even implementing a like multiple layer of security that need to be get find out the vulnerabilities and how the attacks happen. It's all matters on that.
Then I want to know uh, if there is
Mm-hmm.
one vulnerability, any
Mm-hmm.
hacker will able to hack my system.
Yes, if the vulnerabilities
And
are there, see, if they can find the vulnerability or they can, like, make the vulnerabilities on your system, that might be a possible. They may use a different ticketing system, like, tracking system. There are different tactics. It depends upon how professionals, how decent, how, like, the attack is going to be happen. It's not just the basic attacks which is going to be happens on your endpoint, but it depends upon. So when the attack is happens, also there is an investment. It's not like it's like they try to attack directly on the system. So that's the reason every local system will not get an attack. It comes on the corporate where they need to be get a benefit when the attack happens, right? As the people are investing to maintain the security, the attackers also invest in order to attack on the target systems. Got it?
mm,
Yeah. All right. So is there any other questions from anybody else if you have it? Rahul, I believe I answered your question, right?
yeah, sir, then it is very tough to provide security uh, in opposite to hacker because only one vulnerability can be cause of failure. And
Yes.
if you will think in perspective of security, then you have to be alert with 100% of your capability. And
Correct.
for hacker, if he will able to find only one vulnerability, then he will able to break your security.
That is what the security is a high priority for everyone, and everyone concern is the security. That is the reason, right?
Mm.
Correct. So you're working as a non, yeah, Manural. Yeah, please.
Yeah, yeah. I'm working in non-IT
Mm-hmm.
from 8 years. Is it possible to change the domain now?
Yeah, see, the domain change now, it all depends upon your current skill set. Like, which is that is what we have explained you so far. Either you're from the
Hmm.
non-technical or technical background, if you want to switch your career, the most important thing is that we need to have the current and demanded skill set which is going in the market, right? So that is how the people
Yeah.
get hired. So this is what we are doing it. All things we are going to learn from scratch to advanced. Okay. You're going to get all the details. So either you're from non-technical background also, as we said you that during the webinar, we are going to help you all and get understand the deeper concept, like how does it work, what things is happens if you've been as a security specialist working, what area of the experience we require. So all those we're going to cover in detail.
Okay. What's the salary package they will offer? Like they may take me as a fresher
See,
because it is my
yeah,
EDS is my
yeah, yeah,
irrelevant experience. No?
yeah. I understand, but I'll tell you one fact. We never go to the job approach with the zero experience part. This is what I
Hmm.
suggest, and this is what my concern will be there towards the people to get start the career. When you get the correct skill
Yes.
set, there's equivalent to up to 10 years of experience, 5 years of experience, like 2 years of experience. It depends, how you do that practice, right? So we can add some experience and can approach to that. That will be my suggestion. Will be there. So we'll guide you
Okay.
that steps as well. What area, like how much experience we can cover and how it can be helpful for you that. So you'll get the complete detail about this in during this 45 days.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, brother. Yeah. Yeah. Is there any other questions from anybody else? If you have it, please feel free to ask me. All right. So I believe I answered everyone question. So thank you very much, listening me guys, and I really enjoy talking to you. So I'm happy to see you all on the board. Let's discuss that. If you have anything, my team will reach you and can clear your doubt or can connect us. Till that, take care. Bye, everybody. Thank you very much for listening.